Whew, we're back. Sorry about the last episode where Lewis talked about politics at length. It was pretty good though. But today instead we are going to talk about a new game that came out recently that I know I have enjoyed and that Lewis is probably also enjoying. It was, of course, XCOM 2.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we start actually,
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard it in the last episode, but my doorbell rang. I don't know if you heard it in the background, but yeah, it was like in the middle of last episode, and it kind of put me off a little bit because I rent a flat, okay?
Yeah.
And if you rent a flat, you have certain rights, okay?
Yeah.
And one of those rights is that people can't, specifically the
Ring your
landlord.
doorbell?
No, people
Right.
can't come into your flat, okay, unless you've given them permission. Okay. Or
So
you've
is somebody
organised the
standing
time for
right
it to come
behind
out.
you right now and you're passively aggressively pointing this out to them in a recording?
No.
Oh.
But
Because that would be hilarious. I mean, I would say, can we get a
but-
webcam for this one?
what happened yesterday was because I'm one of these
shit.
people who
Can I
when
guess
the
before you
doorbell-
tell me?
Yeah, go on.
You were in the middle of wetting your whistle in a major way
Oh.
on a leather couch in
Okay.
your living room.
Yeah.
And the landlord decided, fuck this guy. This is my flat. I'm going to show around one of the potential new tenants, the flat. And they walked in, and there you are, completely naked on a leather couch, all lubed up. And you're like, you know, I have rights. And everybody started screaming.
Well, actually, what I did was
Actually, yeah, you're
I
totally right.
well, okay. So here's the thing, right? The landlord is selling this flat, okay, and he wants
Selling?
me to leave. Now,
Right, okay.
obviously, I'm not supposed to have any
That's-
contact really with the landlord because he does it through a letting agent. So I signed up with a letting agent called whatever they call. I'm not going to say what their name is, but
You
they're
don't want to
okay.
big them
They're
up?
Not great.
You don't want to big them up on our podcast?
I don't want to big them up, but I also don't want to get him in trouble either.
Sponsored
I don't
by
think it's worth my time.
findaflat.co.uk. You need a flat? We got them.
No,
.co.uk.
it's just a local letting agency, so they're all sorts.
Oh,
of them.
right, okay.
And
Right.
you know that they,
Fuck.
you know, if you own a house, you just go to or a flat, you just go to this letting agency. You say, hey, can you let out my flat? They say sure. You say I'm going away for a year, so just you handle everything, and they say sure, and you pay them a certain percentage or fee or whatever, and all of your slimes are escaping. Anyway,
I
it
know,
doesn't
it's
matter.
driving me crazy. I don't know why
Anyway.
they're doing this.
It's boring, but you know how it works. The world works like that. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah,
basically,
it is,
I don't
yeah.
think that the landlord should have any interaction with me. Okay.
Right.
And I also don't think he's supposed to. And he's certainly not
No.
allowed to come into the property. Okay. Under any circumstances, really.
Right.
Unless he specifically agreed it with me. Anyway, most landlords are cunts. Okay. And I will say
Yeah.
this right now.
Yeah.
Partly because they're. I'm not saying all of them are, but every one that I have experienced and interacted with has been. Okay.
Wow, okay.
Because you're staying in their flat, and they assume that you basically are a turd, right? And they want
Yeah.
you to, and they assume that anything that goes wrong with the flat at all ever is your fault, and they're really, really annoyed to have to fix anything that goes wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
They're like,
Well, 'cause it
"Oh,
costs
God,
money,
fuck
that's why."
me, I don't want to have to,
Spend
do
money.
this.
No.
God. So I've stayed in this flat for 4 years. Okay. In the 4
Yeah.
years that I've been here, there's been nothing, right? Not a single thing that's gone wrong. Okay. However,
Right. What about that time your
um,
boiler went down though? Because that went wrong.
Well,
Remember?
even I paid to get that fixed, and he
Oh, did
didn't- he hasn't even paid for that. So
That's crazy.
I assume I'm going to be able to get that back when I leave. I'll add it to the fucking list of complaints that I have. Anyway, yesterday, okay.
How is that
just-
list, by the way?
So
Long?
about a month ago, actually a couple of months ago, I found some mold growing in the back on the wall of one of the cupboards. Okay, in my flat.
Right.
Have I told you this?
Yeah. No.
I have told you this.
No, you
Oh,
haven't.
right.
I don't recall
s-
any mold.
And so
stories.
there's like some
Whoa.
black mold, okay, growing in the back of my cupboard. And it was a cupboard that I used to just store crap. So when I moved into the flat, it had a lot of crap in it, right? Like a bunch of broken chairs and an old lamp and stuff like that. And because it's a tiny flat, and I couldn't be asked to I didn't want to chuck them away because they were on the inventory, you know. And if I left, okay, the flat, or if I chucked them away when I left, the inventory would say 3 chairs, right? So I didn't want to chuck them away because then they would say, oh, okay, you need to pay for 3 new chairs, right? So anyway, I had this cupboard full of crap like duvets, pillowcases, all this stuff that had been left that I didn't want to use, right?
And it went all fucking moldy?
And so I put it all in this moldy cupboard, And so a lot of it, went all moldy and stuff. And
Was
so
was it the duvet that your great nan gave to you? Did it
No,
have
it was all the flat
name
stuff. It was all
embroidered?
stuff from in the flat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All
So
right.
anyway, I took pictures of it all. So the first thing you should always do, okay, everyone, listen to this. This is really useful. We have smartphones
Yeah.
these days. You can take pictures of fucking everything. Do so.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, including
and
yourself.
that point will become more relevant as this story goes on. But I took a load of pictures of everything, and I told him basically. I told the letting agents, and they said, "Oh yeah, no, okay, we'll send the landlord round." And so one day the landlord comes round. But he said I'd like to come round, and so I said okay, I'll meet you. And so he came round and he had a look and he was like, "This is clearly your fault."
Did you make a big steamy pot of pasta?
No, he said no. Of course I didn't. What the fuck?
Oh.
Anyway, he said this is clearly your fault. You must have spilled a load of water in this cupboard. Okay, and I
Right.
said sure, and he said I want you to clean it up, and I said sure, right? And so because I didn't want to deal with this
Sounds
asshole.
like a very friendly exchange so far.
And I said to him, I don't think it is that, right? But
Yeah.
if some more mold comes back in this cupboard,
Yes.
on your head be it, okay? I'm not taking any responsibility. Anyway,
Yeah.
cut forward a month, okay? I don't use that spare room. I've taken everything out of that cupboard. I look in that room. The mold has spread. I cleaned it up, okay? I cleaned all the mold
Oh my
up and I
God.
painted it all over. But the mold now has spread across the entire wall of the
Fuck.
spare bedroom, right? And it's
Fuck.
a fucking nightmare in there, right?
Right.
It's like, holy shit. And I'm like actually now like slightly nervous to be in my flat because of all the mold in here. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, so I took a few pictures,
Yeah.
sent it back to the people, and a week goes by and nothing, and a week goes by and nothing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I told them, what the fuck, at least I've got a record of the emails where I told them. I've got pictures of when, of it getting worse. It's like I'm totally safe, right? In
Yeah.
terms of because I read about these people who got sued by their landlord because they didn't report mold that was in a property that they rented, okay, and the landlord sued them for more than their deposit. So normally,
Right.
like when you're in a flat, you think, oh, okay, here's another thing about being in a flat. You pay a deposit when you move in, and
Yeah.
you think that's the most that they can possibly charge you. Like you could wreck the flat, and they think, oh well, I've only got a £2,000 deposit, so I could just it's never going to get worse than that, even if I completely fuck it up. But no, that's not true at all. If you fuck a flat up badly,
Yeah.
they can sue you and it'll take claim damages off you and make you pay a lot more. than
Hang
your
on a
deposit.
second. Before you
What?
continue, where the
Yeah.
fuck have my flying ones gone? I made this payment especially for them. They're gone. Where did they go? What happened
I
to
don't know.
them? Oh, okay. Carry on.
Maybe you need like a roof on it.
Fucking roof? Come on. Look at the size of that thing. It's huge.
How have they
How did they
escaped
get out?
there?
I don't know. And they're gone. Like, where are they? You'd think they'd just be like floating around or like out here somewhere, but fuck, who knows? Jeez.
This is the worst
Maybe they
rambling
wrote-
house story ever. Anyway, in any case,
anyway.
it's fucking bad. So
Okay.
the letting agency say we're sending around a guy, okay, and so
A guy.
I'm like, okay, a guy. When's he coming? They say, when's it convenient? Because they have to arrange it with me, and so in fact they can't even really get in to do anything unless they give me a date and notify me by mail. Normally
Right.
they have to notify me by mail at least a week in advance or with reasonable notice, right? They can't just turn up unannounced. Or they can ring on the doorbell, but they're certainly not allowed to come in unannounced.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
fucking some maintenance guy comes and I meet him, and he's like this guy who just absolutely stinks for some reason of sweat, and I'm like, holy shit. Anyway,
Yeah.
I show him the mold. He's like, oh yeah, it's quite a lot of mold there. And I'm like, yeah. And
Nice.
he starts rubbing himself all over the wall, like touching it all over the place.
Oh.
Like, no fucking, not scared at all.
No fucking
okay?
clothes on, nothing.
And he's like, oh, it's really warm. It must be the hot water pipe next door that's burst. Obviously, it's probably a lot worse on their side. Oh yeah, by the way, the reason I looked in the spare room was because I got a notice stuck on my door by the building manager who said there's been a lot of leaks in some of these. Some of these flats weren't built very well. It's just
Man,
the pipes
where
been
the
leaked.
fuck
So
do you
might want to
live?
check.
Like,
It's like a brand new flat in a fancy place.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, brand new ones are always the worst. That's why you should always get an old place, man. They're tried, tested, and true.
Yeah, made of
they're
actual bricks.
Yeah.
Rather than a cupboard. I mean,
No,
the
they
price.
make them out of cardboard now. New places are made out of shit.
New places are fucking. You pay like £300,000 for a place made out of shit, fucking tiny.
Yeah.
It's garbage. You got to think like
It
it's
is.
sad, really. It's really sad that house prices they
Nice.
can't stay this high much longer because
No, they won't. There'll be a crash. Don't worry, man.
Honestly,
You'll be fine.
I'm looking forward to it.
You'll get through
But
it.
it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm fine. I don't own my own place, so it's okay. But it doesn't matter. Even if I did, it's fine.
No, yeah.
Anyway,
right.
who cares?
Yeah.
Look.
Okay.
So he fucked off, and then a week later, I'm just sitting here in my. So this was yesterday. A week later, I'm just sitting here in my pajamas and my dressing gown, and I hear the doorbell ring. Now the
did
doorbell.
this whole thing happen while you were in your pajamas? Because that's weird too.
Most of it did. Yeah, most of
Jeez.
this all happens in pajamas.
So the
'cause-
landlord and the pipe inspector all came over, and there you are sitting in your pajamas.
Well, no,
Thing
okay.
is,
So
you're
I
saying
didn't
that your
know.
landlord's a cunt, but if you want to be taken seriously, maybe put a fucking suit on next time before somebody comes over.
So listen. So
Okay.
yesterday, right? I'm very organised with my schedule because I have to be, right? I'm very organised. I turn up to everything on time. I very rarely am late
Me
for
too.
things, okay? Right? Because
Yeah.
it annoys me, right? And so I have a schedule. And it's not a diary, it's a schedule. So I have it on Google Docs. We all have one. You know, I can look at you and I can show you, you know what schedule is. I can show you what I was doing 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
at 10, at 2, at 4, whatever, okay?
Yeah, we're very
And I know
organised.
when I hear now, if the doorbell of my flat rings, that means there's someone right outside. Now that means they've gone through 2 security doors to get outside my flat. Okay.
Right.
Now most of the time, it's people. If their doorbell rings, it's going to be someone, one of my neighbours or something like that, who might want, I don't know, a can opener, whatever. I don't know what neighbours might want. But
No, that
who
doesn't
knows,
happen,
right?
does it?
Yeah, it's happened.
Your
before.
neighbors
But-
actually come over and ask you for shit. You gotta fucking
Yeah,
move. Holy shit. Your place sounds really bad. Like, in every way.
Well,
I'll tell you
it's only
something.
happened a couple of times, okay? So it doesn't happen very often. Or
Okay.
it's.
I mean, I've
one
lived in
time
a
it
lot
was-
of places.
One time, it was the police, right? And they were like,
What?
"Hey, we've looked at your internet browser history. We saw that you bought a set of rubber pants, and
Oh, no. And you were like, yeah, I
And-
don't fucking
and-
care.
but-
And guess what, motherfucker? Yes, right. I've got them on under my jeans right now. And you pulled your pants right down. They're like, sir, we're going to take you in. That is unacceptable.
Anyway, so the doorbell rings, and I'd say when the doorbell rings in places that I live, 90% of the time I don't answer it. Okay,
Right.
that's just who I am. Right? I just
We're
don't
gonna
answer the
need some
door.
fucking high walls here, too. Holy shit.
I
yeah?
don't answer the door.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes I will sneak up very, very quietly to the door and look through the peephole at the person.
Of your
in the
own
corridor.
door?
Yeah.
Oh,
to
I see.
who
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah. Sorry. Outside. Yes, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I will silently back off so they don't think I'm there, and they'll leave me alone. Okay. I didn't do it in this case. I just thought because I can't remember what I was doing, but I was like I am now. So I'm wearing a pair of pajama bottoms. Okay. I'm wearing an old t-shirt. I'm wearing a dressing gown, which is white and woolly and fluffy. And I wash it about once every 3 weeks, so it kind of gets a bit grungy after a while, but I do wash it, okay?
Sure, yeah.
And I'm wearing a pair of socks, okay? That's all. Anyway, I hear that terrible... I'm getting really nervous already talking about it. I hear that terrible sound of a key turning in the lock, okay?
Oh, no. So you
I'm
rushed
like,
to put your clothes on really quick.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No, so I get my... I was like... First of all, I was like terrified, because I thought...
Jeez.
And also, I was really, really pissed off because I thought,
Right.
who is letting themselves into my flat unannounced? Okay, so I went up to the door with my phone and I took pictures of the person who was coming in the door as they were coming in the door.
And who was it?
And
who was it?
It was obviously my fucking landlord
It was
letting
your dad.
himself in,
Oh, right.
unannounced, uninvited, thinking,
Fuck
he must be
that.
at work or something.
Yeah. Fuck
So
that guy,
I took a
man.
load of
That's
pictures.
crazy. Yeah.
And I sent them to the agency saying, "Are you aware that this landlord just lets himself
Man,
into people's properties
Send
unannounced?"
it to the fucking police next time. See how he likes that. Sir,
Well-
we're gonna have to take you in. Seems that you've been letting yourself into somebody's flat with the key. You,
If you're a
fucking asshole.
woman, right?
Yeah.
If I was a woman, that would have
You.
been a lot scarier, okay? And
Yeah.
it's nice that we have smartphones these days, because if I was a woman, like, I would, and maybe even I would do this as a man. The thing is, if I hadn't recognised him as the landlord, the first thing I would have done is tweet that picture out. I would have been like, "There's a man coming to my flat right now," and I would have tweeted that, and
Yeah.
then I would have said to him, "Hello, sir. Whoever you are, you've just illegally entered my flat. I
Fuck.
posted a picture of your face onto my Twitter feed in case you're going to murder me.
Jeez.
So I suggest you leave right the fuck now."
Is that what you said?
So
to
that...
Or you wanted
No,
to say that to
I
him?
said-
You had a dream about it later where
I
you're
said,
like,
"Oh,
fuck, I should've
hello."
said that to him.
And he said, "Oh, hello, I've come to look at the mold." And I said, "We met before." And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "I told you that if the mold came back, it was your fault because I didn't do it." And he said, "Oh, did you?" And I said, "Yeah." And then he looked at the mold. He was fucking horrified, right?
Yeah. Was
He
he
was
pissed?
like shitting his pants. I was like, "This is pretty
Right.
bad, isn't it?" And then he fucked off. But he was like
Nice.
totally unnerved by the fact that I'd taken a load of pictures of him.
Yeah.
What a cunt.
Did you say
Anyway,
I'm
there
going
you
to
go.
put them... You should have
is
said I'm going to put them
my
on Facebook.
story.
That was a great story. Honestly, I wasn't sure where it was going at first, but it ended with a bang. Holy fuck, that was crazy. We were meant to talk about XCOM 2, but we didn't. So maybe we'll talk about that next time.
Let's talk
Yeah.
about that next time.
Okay,
Holy
great.
shit.
All right.
All right.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.